Guys, before the podcast starts, we forgot to announce the winner of the Cambiaso jersey during the podcast. The three winners, the Instagram winner is Marco, Marcoiaboni on Instagram.
What a name.
The Twitter winner is Santo, Srosa Bianca, Bianca on Twitter. And the third winner on YouTube is Ezio Lo Contro. So guys, congratulations. Hit us up on the DMs and we'll hit you up. Thank you for everyone who entered. Enjoy the podcast, subscribe, and like it.
I woke up with a stiff neck this morning. I'm still, it's the worst. I think it's the stress.
Too much stress. Why don't we start with the Peter and this stiff neck? Go ahead.
My stiff neck.
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Serie A audio experience with IFTV. Another eventful weekend in the Serie A. We had Antonio. This was your weekend. All everybody said to us was, you're going to be smiling, Peter. Unfortunately for you, this was the week where a couple weeks ago, we have this clip going around where Antonio made a joke, or what the rest of the podcast perceived as a joke, I should say.
More than a joke. I was cracking up.
Antonio said AC Milan is going to go above Inter. And we all laughed at him. And this week, it happened. Inter lost to Cagliari. Milan won against Sassuolo. Milan go into third place for the first time in over 2.5 years. How do you feel, Antonio?
Listen, you guys can joke as much as you want. The reality is, I was not joking, okay? When I speak with a smile, but there's a lot of digging over there. The only thing I feel sorry about my friend Peter because, he's a nice guy and I don't want him to be suffering over this stuff here because this morning, for example, he just said it to me that he woke up with a stiff neck because thinking about it all night. He just had a little problem. He fell asleep on the wrong side of the bed. So
tossing and turning.
Don't worry,
Wrong
Pete.
side of the table.
Oh, the table. So don't worry, you're gonna catch up again. Don't worry.
Oh, now I'm going to catch up. I don't understand.
We're gonna make you believe you're
mind
gonna catch
games.
up, but
Are you messing around now or are you telling the truth?
well, you're gonna go to San Siro.
You know, there was a near bet today. Because we were with Ludo also today.
Ludovico,
There
I feel
was-
so terrible for him.
There was a near bet. Antonio was already going to bet a
Oh my
dinner
God.
at Patrizia's
Oh, God.
if Milan jumps Napoli.
Listen,
He said Milan's going to jump Napoli.
He said it too when we recorded him yesterday. He said we're going to jump
Then he
Napoli.
took it away. He said, after the derby, we'll find out. So I don't know if you 100% truthfully believe in Milan. I don't know.
I'll tell you
He said
what.
maybe Juventus too. So
Yeah, okay.
I bought some few extra boxes of Kleenex for you, so when you
Oh,
go to the
thanks.
stadium over there, you just wipe your tears, okay? All right.
Peter, tell them where you're going to be next week.
I'm going to be, 2 weeks. Well, I'll be in Italy for the derby. Milan-Inter.
You got tickets.
I got tickets. It was a struggle, but we got them.
That's good. Successfully. He's gonna be.
Yeah.
He's gonna be sent.
So I'm
sent
gonna
some
be over
videos
there.
from the stadium for sure.
Antonio, why don't you go with Peter?
Come visit
I
me.
wish I could go. I have to leave just 4 days later. I cannot.
You're
my
gonna be in
daughter-
Italy too?
Yeah. my
Leave a
daughter
little bit
cannot be there.
earlier.
I can't.
Go by yourself for a little bit. Get away.
You're going with a few AC Milan fans, right?
I am.
Oh my God.
That's
Who's
okay.
going with you? Who's going?
Bunch of people. Alessio,
Oh,
Miro,
boy.
and Ludo's actually going to be there too.
but-
Ludo and I, we're going to both be there. So
Oh yeah.
if anybody's in Milan, come and say hello to
You're gonna
Ludo
be
and
wearing the
I.
Inter shirt.
No, I won't wear the Inter shirt.
Why not?
He doesn't want to get robbed outside the
Because
stadium.
it's a Milan home game. I'm not going to wear the
Don't worry
Inter
about it.
shirt.
I'll make a phone call for you.
Yeah.
What a nice guy he is.
But I'll celebrate when we score.
Oh. He didn't say win. He
Wait,
said score.
Guys, are we doing a bet for this one or we don't believe in our team?
So
What bet
let's
do you
make a
want?
bet.
Oh boy.
I have to. Okay, let's make it interesting. But
Okay, I like
And
interesting.
Antonio, don't get screwed on this. Don't say if you tie or lose. Just win or lose.
It's either winning or lose.
Smart.
Okay, you're gonna win, right?
if I win,
Okay.
I gotta wear what I gotta wear. Milan jersey.
Yeah, and you're gonna.
And
win.
then I'm in Milan, so I gotta like scream Forza Milan in front of.
Hey, we want to get you
Piazza
back on
Garibaldi.
the podcast in one piece.
You're gonna drink my espresso with the AC Milan car.
Okay, that's fine.
And you're gonna say Milan forever
Milan forever.
till at the end.
Yeah, okay.
For one
cool.
day.
Yeah.
For one day. The day of the day.
Till the end.
You don't mind your own business. The bet is between me and him.
Gaetan, you want to jump in on the bet
Then
or
we'll
not?
talk about your team,
What's
okay?
the reverse? Same
You
thing?
know? No, the reverse is like it's not gonna happen.
The reverse. Hold on.
There's nothing
Hold on.
Okay.
I got my part. Now we gotta agree.
Oh, boy.
So the reverse is you have to wear the Inter jersey. I'll let you wear the Cassano one, no problem.
I think he enjoys wearing it.
But he also has to hang for a week. I'll give you a week. You don't have to do it till the end. You have to hang an Inter flag outside your house.
Oh, I like that. I like it.
I'll provide the flag. I'll provide the flag.
We'll provide it for you, trust me.
That's good.
I can give a kiss to Vandanara too as a punishment.
Hey, if you find her, you can give a kiss to her. But
Oh my God. That's a good one.
Okay.
deal?
All right, deal. But
Wait.
I'm happy to make this deal. You're gonna lose anyway.
And if tie, nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
That's it.
I'm sorry.
Okay. That's going to be fun.
What a way to start the podcast. By the way, let's just get your opinion because he's talking about Milan jumping above to second place. What's your immediate reaction?
Oh, that will never happen. Yeah, no
That's what
chance.
you said about
You got
Inter.
no chance for
you
that.
did say that guy down. No.
8 points on
What
9
did I
points.
say?
You didn't think Milan was going to top Inter.
Okay.
It's still not over yet.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
I know, but even the thought about even coming close, we didn't
And
think it
then,
was
and
going to
then
happen.
Antonio went on to say that Inter was going to finish.
but we
below.
didn't, I didn't make any bet
No,
on
no,
that.
I know,
That
but
was
we
just
said
my
it.
opinion. But
No,
this
no,
one,
yeah.
this one, it will never happen.
Wait, I want to know because you also mentioned in the video yesterday, you said Milan's going to finish above Napoli. You said they could finish above Napoli, and then you said Inter's going to finish below Torino,
And
Sampdoria,
No,
Roma.
at least-
Ah,
at
you
least
know,
before-
exaggerated.
Because of this guy here, they're gonna finish under Roma. Okay.
That's an interesting one.
This
too.
is the guy. This is the death of Inter. This guy here.
It's a
Only this
Spalletti
guy.
face for the people listening
That's
on
it.
audio.
Okay.
good,
Pete.
good call, Mike.
All right, Pete. Just say
Peter.
something to him. Say something.
It's like you're looking in the mirror right here.
I got another. Did you know? I sent them the message. I didn't send it to you guys. Someone posted in my Instagram that he was playing FIFA and I look like Paletta.
Palette?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He used to play for
I'll
AC
show
Milan.
you a
Palette.
picture.
Defender, yeah.
So it was funny. Can I shout the guy out? Let's see.
Yeah, do
It's
it.
fine?
Go
Alright,
for it.
so
Find
hold
it. No,
Let me
but
see right here.
we made that. Did you guys like the
Enzo-
pictures that we made for you?
Enzo Minicucci, his name is. He goes, I was playing FIFA and realized Paletta looks a lot like you.
Oh, boy.
It really is. It's funny
I
because
said-
anyone who's bald and has a beard looks so much
It's
like
the
you.
generic look.
I was driving the other day and I thought I saw you. I swear to God, I almost stopped. But to get on topic to what Antonio was saying, because Peter, we watched the game here, Cagliari against Inter, where Cagliari won 2-1, and it could have been more if they converted their penalty
my
kick.
God.
And I could feel the sense from you, where, like I said, we were all laughing at Antonio for these takes, and I think at the beginning of the season, Antonio was never on the Spalletti train. And we all were. We thought that Spalletti handled the team well. We said that we gave him credit for the Champions League. Right now, where it stands, has your stance with Spalletti changed since the beginning of the season?
Listen, a lot has been going on this year. So when you lose the locker room, the thing is, when at first I blame Spalletti more so than right now. Right now, I've realized that there's a lot more going on in that locker room.
Behind closed doors.
Behind closed doors that we still don't know the truth. So I feel Spalletti, when the whole Icardi thing didn't come out, I was like, this guy, he lost the locker room. But now it's a matter of the players not gelling, the players having arguments or whatever. So I feel that it's a little bit less his fault than, no, hear me out, less his fault than what the players
Perceived,
are. Listen,
yeah.
if you have Icardi in right now, because I think when we had the discussion if Milan's going to jump Inter, right? If I remember correctly, Icardi was still there.
Yeah,
Okay,
of course.
Icardi was still there.
100%. He
So
was
I
scoring.
feel with Icardi there, Inter does not get taken over by Milan. That's one, because Inter could play terribly.
I think he agrees.
Icardi gets the ball, he scores, game over. You know what I'm saying? That's what he knows.
Yeah, that it doesn't make it.
It's not.
It's not his fault. It's not him for Icardi.
Who's that, Marotta?
There's a lot more
I,
that
I
we know.
agree. I agree with Pete. I think that I could never imagine what's happening to Inter. If you were to tell me that this was going to happen, that Icardi was going to lose the captain, I mean that's never happened before. I don't remember ever happened before. In the middle of the season, you take the armband away from somebody. So there are a lot of things going on in that locker room. I thought that by Marotta coming to Inter, maybe he could put some order in that club, but maybe he needs more time. Maybe he needs the beginning of next season. But I disagree with Pete where he says that Spalletti. I mean, Spalletti is the general, and you got to be able to, your soldiers. You got to be able to manage them. And I think right now, it seems to me there's an anarchy in that locker room.
Here's my take, okay? This club over here, been, the history and all the stuff and the money that they spend and all the this Marotta coming over. We are looking to build a big franchise, the usual, the old, like the very good days and all the stuff. This looks like a daycare. That place looks like a daycare. This guy here makes he says a little tantrum, and then the guy goes back and he says, "Okay, you no longer give me that toy, no more Captain Band." Okay.
Interesting analogy.
Listen to me. This is like a daycare.
Yeah.
He makes another mistake, they sit him down. Okay. His wife said, "Oh no, don't sit him down," and they keep punishing the guy here. So this is a place. I'm telling you, in a total disarray. Okay. All the media is paying attention. Nothing is happening behind closed door because everything is coming out. Cassano goes on primetime TV on Tiki-Taka, whatever it is, and he tells his wife as it is. Cassano is talking to a lot of people over there. Don't tell me that Cassano doesn't know a lot of the Inter player. And he tells Vandanara, said, "Hey, by the way, you want to fix things? Tell your brother or your husband over there. Tell your husband to go down there and say, hey, I'm sorry. I made a mistake.
Shake hands, move on.
Hands, and that's it. That's the end of the story. But the main problem is this guy here is not capable. He's not capable because he's the one in charge, right? On the locker room, he's in charge. He's been given 15, 18 players. You have to just get everybody over there, sit them down and say, hey, guys, this is the law and this is the line, okay? You cross this line, you're done.
But Antonio, I don't think Spalletti really had any problem with Icardi because that hasn't been uncovered or hasn't been even talked about.
Who has the problem with Icardi?
The problem...
Then?
Because he was starting Icardi all the time. He would never take out Icardi.
Why did you put
the one reason that people say is that it was over the salary and over the new contract. Another reason was because the players got into fights. It's not Spalletti and Icardi, or else something else would have came out.
When you put Ranocchia 2 times on the...
that's not
Let me tell you something. When you put in Ranocchia 2 times... Okay, playing next to him, next to Icardi.
It was at the end of the game.
He tells Icardi, "You're not good enough."
No, come on. That was at the end of the game. Mourinho used to do the same thing with Samuel.
You're not making your point good.
Mourinho put Samuel and he scored versus Siena in the last dying minutes because he didn't have a striker on the bench. Inter doesn't have another striker on the bench. They had Lautaro Martinez. So when Lautaro's in and Icardi's in, you don't have another attacking player. Who are you going to put up there? Candreva?
He's a world-class player.
I'm not saying otherwise, but
putting Ranocchia inside next to Icardi. He's telling you, hey, lately you've been sucking.
No.
I have to put a defender trying to help you out.
Ranocchia wasn't playing from the first minute. He's playing in maybe the last 10 minutes.
He threw him in the last 5 minutes of the match. Let me hit you guys with the stat.
Right.
Inter have one more loss this season than they do of all last year, with only... still a lot of games to play. So they're losing a lot more than they were last year. And I think like Peter said, there's a few sides, a few perspectives to this. Spalletti has always stood up. He said, guys, with Icardi, you handle it, play his contract, blah, blah, blah. I just think that, like we've said before, this could have been handled. This is handled in June, in May, June, July, August, before the season starts. You say, listen, we're going to renew you now. Yes, no. Or we say, we're going to talk about it in June, blah, blah. You put it off the table. And then some other stuff came out. But either way, Inter, they need to perform and they need to be united. Whatever happened, let bygones be bygones. And we say, we need to get Champions League. They want to get 3rd place. Even if you get 4th place, it's not that big of a deal. Whatever we need to do to get 4th place, we need to do to get 4th place. Because at the moment, yes, Roma did not win, so they didn't jump them. But there was a risk that they would have jumped them at least in terms of goal difference. So, I don't know what happened, but Inter need to do something.
1 second. Mike, let me see. Maybe you and I, we can rationalize a little bit.
I like how you guys are matching with the shirts,
Mike,
by the way.
the white
You look
shirt.
like father and son.
Mike, listen to this. When Marotta comes on board, this is my question to you. Yeah. When Marotta comes on board, okay, and he's starting to tell everybody, I said, hey, listen, this guy here, Icardi, is taking too much of a lead in demanding money for his performance. So what he does... He says he goes down to the locker room and tells Spalletti, just take down his band for now. and then we'll sit him down, and then maybe we'll see if the price goes down. Maybe we'll see if his wife is going to shut up. Okay.
But what if there's a lot of stuff which we
Doesn't
still
work
don't
that
know?
way.
We don't even know
What
we only-
happened?
We only know like 5% of what happened.
Right,
You know how much
right,
stuff
right.
behind
Yeah,
closed doors,
we,
and it was just coming out now.
we
What is the coincidence? Marotta comes on board and this guy yet doesn't get
Antonio,
maybe
Inter
Marotta-
will have
we-
Inter will have already paid. Listen, if the Chinese were
we
in charge only, Chinese have already paid Icardi.
we spoke
This
to
guy here,
people that
Marotta,
know what's going on, and they said it was not about the contract. Okay, so there are a lot of the things they said that we don't know. Okay,
And
so
I'm
that,
sure Marotta's
yeah.
there for the good.
The only,
Right.
I understand
So,
what you're saying. I understand what you're
we
saying, but I
need,
think that there's a bigger picture that we don't
Right,
understand.
right.
So-
Definitely.
Anyway, Inter lost to Cagliari. Cagliari played a great game. Let's give credit to Cagliari. Pavoletti's goal was phenomenal. They also had a penalty kick, which Barella didn't convert. They took the lead, then they went back, and they came back in this match. And I give Cagliari a lot of credit. At home, Cagliari has been a different beast. I don't remember the stat off my head, but I know that they were one of the few teams to not lose at home until a certain point. I believe against Napoli, maybe it was the first time they lost at home. So Cagliari is a very strong team. Like you were saying before the game, Maran, you think that Maran is an underrated coach?
he's an underrated coach. I think everywhere he's went, he's really been able to fix the team and let them play. The only hard times he had was with Atalanta, but even there, he started off pretty good. So, I mean, he's an underrated coach. Cagliari, like you said, at home, plays a whole different style of football. They have some interesting players. Barella, I'm in love with the work rate that he puts in. Even though he missed the penalty, he's a player for the future, the national
great
team,
player. He's a
and
great
maybe
player.
one of the big Serie A teams. Pavoletti, he's a goal scorer, you know, and it
What a
showed.
goal.
It
What a
showed.
phenomenal.
Yeah, it showed what he can
Serna's,
do.
The center back is a real captain in the back.
Oh yeah,
Serna,
well
yeah.
he's
The
got
Croatian.
experience. He's got
so
experience.
experienced, and he's such a
Yeah.
Their
great
fans
defender.
push
So-
them on so much.
Yeah.
Cagliari's got something special. So
But
happy for them.
Inter, they did not look like they were ready for this game. They looked very sluggish. They had the second half. They had maybe a couple more chances, but not what you're supposed
There
to
is
do.
no
What'd you think-
fluidity on the
what did you think
on the
about
Inter
Lautaro?
game.
I think
Before we move on.
Lautaro scored his goal. He scored his goal. He had a spark. He took another shot, got it deflected, hit off the post. So I mean, he's an active player. Like I say it over and over again. I love his movement in the box. I think he is close to Sergio Aguero as far as his movement is concerned. He still needs a lot more to become that product. But if you see him, his style that he plays, he's a very active striker. He's a similar size as Aguero and stocky. So he gets up, yeah, and he goes. You know what I'm saying? So that was important to see. Nainggolan actually played a good game, even though he wasn't able to give the extra push for Inter. But then everywhere else just looks sluggish. I mean, this is the past 5 years that Inter does not have a solid left back, right back. You know, someone that can put in a cross and go up and down. Instead, we have players that, yes, they put in the hard work, but they're not at the
Candreva.
caliber that you need.
Candreva.
You know,
Andreva too.
and even in the midfield, something is not clicking. But it's just upsetting to say the least, because versus Fiorentina, up until the 3-1, we had a good game. Then afterwards, this whole collapse and it fell apart. So it gets to your head sometimes.
One name, just a transition that we didn't speak about, was Cragno for Cagliari. 24-year-old goalkeeper. I know on the goal, it was unfortunate how he conceded. It was one mistake, but I thought he had a phenomenal match. I mean, he was making
saved a
saves
lot,
left
yeah.
and right. And the immediate thought to me is, after seeing what happened in the derby with Roma, I would love this guy to go to Roma. I think it would be a perfect transition for him. He's young. He's Italian. Olsen is not cutting it at Roma. I mean, the second goal, the third goal, I'm sorry, that Cataldi shot. I mean, and we've seen Olsen consistently make mistakes. Yeah. If I was Roma, I would go for this kid, for Cragno. I think it would make perfect sense. What do you think? Have you noticed Cragno at all?
Just from a couple of games, he's an interesting player. I think that should be he should go to a big team.
I think it would be a perfect one. Let's talk about the derby. The Derby della Capitale. To say the least, Lazio and Roma have both been having up and down seasons. Roma in the Champions League, we know they won against Porto. They have this return leg where there's optimism that they could hopefully get to the next round and grind out the win. But in the Serie A, at least, things have not been going well. The same can be said about Lazio, who Lazio under Inzaghi, even the newspapers are starting to come out. They're saying that Inzaghi's questioned a little bit. And this was a very important game. We know for both Roma and Lazio fans, this match is almost as important as where you finish in the league table, because there's so much passion and pride and bragging rights on display.
And before the game started, actually, Ciro Immobile was ruled out and Manolas was also ruled out. So two huge, why are you laughing? Two huge players for each team.
Manolas was a bigger loss
I
for
appreciate
Roma than Immobile. Because Fazio had a terrible game. Oh, my
Exposed
God.
without
Oh, my God.
He
He was beaten left and right.
like nothing.
And like you said on the third goal, Olsen had both ends on the ball. I mean, if you get both ends on the ball, that ball's got to go out.
Yeah.
It can't go inside the net.
Unless you shot it with a cannon or something.
But I think I agree with you, and I think that Roma, I never expected a 3-0 win for Lazio. I thought it was going to be a tight tie. Never expected that. Saicedo did amazing on the first goal for Lazio.
Yeah.
It was a fantastic goal, and I think Lazio kept that pressure up. They knew that they needed this win for their fans, and they got the win, and it's this huge, huge win. And another one where the question marks, I think, about Di Francesco and about Roma, they start to come out, and but for the Lazio side, I just wanted to give some respect to them, and Acerbi, who I think the man is a fighter and the man can defend. This Lazio defense was not letting anything go through, and Acerbi was the leader of that team, and I think that huge signing from Lazio to get Acerbi, great signing, and he's been phenomenal.
Acerbi,
I love him. I love how he
think
defends.
Acerbi only missed like one Serie A match because he was suspended for Lazio. He played so many minutes, and he's been such like a captain, a voice in the back for them. He's been playing amazing.
He's been a huge
And
signing.
even for the Coppa Italia, he shut down Piontek versus Milan. So I mean, he's
Since losing the right too, he's a great replacement.
yeah, he's been
It
a
was
great
as if he
replacement.
didn't-
Sure.
someone left.
And Lazio, I think they're very well balanced. Lucas Leiva in the midfield really gets all the loose balls.
Very good. You know who impressed me the last two games? This kid Correa.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
He's
Oh, my
quick
God.
and very good with his
That guy, he's
smart.
got skills.
And speed.
He's got speed.
Oh, he burnt
and-
Fazio.
Yeah.
Everyone, we could put
yeah.
Fazio.
You could be Fazio.
And-
no rest.
Command of the ball, control, speed,
great player.
vision. He's got everything.
And even Caicedo, I mean, he didn't really make Lazio miss
Very
Immobile.
good. Good job on the first goal.
Yeah,
Nice job.
unbelievable. And he reminds, he's like the physical presence of Zapata. So it'd be interesting to see if he gets more of a starting role, if it's with Lazio or somewhere else.
strong presence,
He can definitely score goals.
And Immobile scored. He scored a penalty kick. He's having a baby, so congratulations to Immobile and his wife. So huge win for them, and I think that Di Francesco's job continues to get reconsidered. I think as a Roma fan, this is the worst kind of burn that you can have, is to lose 3-0 to Lazio, a match that you can't expect. And I saw the reaction on social media was, let's get Di Francesco out at all costs. They think that the Champions League does not save his job. One question real quick. Do you think that the Champions League can save Di Francesco's job, or do you think...
Yeah, I think 100%. If he makes top four, I think he'll be good.
They'll wait to the end of the season to make a decision like that. We have 2 more months.
I
to
meant
go.
qualifying for the next round of the Champions League.
Why would they sack
okay,
Di
I thought you
Francesco
meant
now?
Yeah. I think it will. If he wins against Porto, he will stay. But it's not Di Francesco's fault. The problem comes from the top. You keep selling the best players, and you keep getting out. You sold the goalkeeper for 80 million euros, and then you got Olsen. That's the philosophy of Roma. You want to sell somebody, Nainggolan, you want to sell everybody 35, 40 millions, and you want to buy players that cost 4 million. That's
You can't use a coach as a scapegoat there.
right.
Yeah.
And I agree.
I like that.
But also now Roma just got the deal done, right, for the stadium.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe we're gonna see a change of philosophy, because now
In
once
what term? Spending more money for the team?
of course, because with the stadium, especially the American owner, he's gonna know how to bring in money. So with stadium, you get retail space, you're getting naming rights, you're getting fans coming into the game.
They're doing
so
a lot of outside
there's
stuff like
a
shopping
lot.
malls,
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
a
they're
lot
gonna
of
have
money.
shopping.
There's a lot of money to be made. So if Roma gets the stadium, I really think that whoever's the owner is going to spend some money, invest, because now that's the next step. Once you're able to make money, the next step is for glory. The next step is to compete in the league, compete in Champions League, and try to win something.
Don't you think that you also need to start building for that right now, because these are crucial years?
Well, to
This
be
is similar to Juve too when
Yeah.
they got their stadium too. They started
Juve,
becoming
the first year that they got it, they won the league.
well. To be fair,
I know they have young players.
they have
but-
young players that can play. I mean, Zaniolo, Under, Kluivert. These are all guys that can play. So
This is the last
and
year of
even
De Rossi,
even
too.
Pellegrini. Pellegrini, I think, is fantastic.
Florenzi.
The Messi.
Florenzi's still there. The other Pellegrini that's in Cagliari right
He's
now.
oh, he did great.
Yeah, so
He played
these
great.
these are all guys that are available. There's also one more kid coming up from the U team. So I mean, he's from Napoli area. Cangiano, his name is. Yeah, I know him because
Yeah, you were telling us
my
about
cousin is friends with the uncle.
We
So
gotta keep our eye on him.
yeah, he's a good player. He was already called up versus the Milan game.
Unfortunately, Zaniolo got hurt. He was playing great. I thought he was gonna get a goal. Yeah, but he got hurt. He picked up a little injury, and then Sheik again. He came in, but couldn't prove decisive. Let's move on. Let's go to Milan. A scrappy win. And Antonio, when you came in, the first thing you told me was we won dirty, like Juventus went dirty. Like in the sense because dirty can be misinterpreted, as I've seen. Dirty meaning that they didn't play great, but they got the result.
Yep.
And it's a good sign of a good team. I will agree with you. There's some controversy I know that everyone wants us to talk about with Piontek, but before that, good win. Sassuolo not able to convert any of their chances, and Milan keep another clean sheet. So not bad for you.
And who's on the net? Who's the
Donnarumma.
Thank you.
Gigio.
Hey, who's Donnarumma?
One of the best goalkeeper in the world.
Mike?
He said one. He didn't even say the
I
best.
don't have to ask you again, Mike.
So, but it could be one of 200.
It's one of the first 2 or 3
Man.
top goal of the world. Forget about Andanovic.
Gaetano,
Okay.
you made a little face when he
Yeah,
said that.
Okay,
What do you-
he's the top 3. He made a goal with his momentum going on.
Made
He
a
hit a
save.
goal with
Yeah, I
his
saw
momentum going to the first post. The guy takes the shot on the second post. The guy stops short. Boom! He puts his hands and he stops the ball. That's world class.
Yeah.
That's top of the line. There is nothing better than that. No goalkeeper can save things like that. Okay, and all the goals that Roma got today, Donnarumma will have
Saved
blocked
it.
all the balls. Just not just deviate the ball. Just
We'll cut him with his
block
teeth.
yeah, with his tongue. You know. See.
It was an important win, I think, also mentally, because it's one of those approaches where Inter, you know what's at stake. You know that getting that third spot, which is a huge sign, a huge signal, and it's never easy to get the job done. We know Sassuolo, sometimes they're hit or miss. You know, sometimes Sassuolo come out and they play great, or sometimes they don't. But I think that's really the perspective. It's we're able to get the job done when called upon. It's also a very good moment for Milan right now. Milan, everything is going right. Romagnoli's, I think, always proving why he's such a fantastic defender. And I think that he's leading a line even next to Musacchio, who I don't like Musacchio much. I don't think he helps Romagnoli that much. But their defense is still able to get the job done. The Consigli.
Oh, by the way, Romagnoli was another player that Gaetano, like Gaetano said before, it was in Roma, and
Yeah.
Roma just sold it to AC
Sure.
Milan.
Yeah.
So you just added to the list of all
Right.
the players that Roma
He was a bad one.
let go.
They could have used him. Consigli, there's some talks about this. Consigli misses the ball with his head. He pulls on Piontek. Piontek falls, red card. What do you guys think about the call?
It's a call. It's a good call.
Red card is a good call.
Yeah.
Michael?
I think it was. I think Piontek knew he was beat over there, and he. Wait, let me finish.
Let him finish. Hey,
I'm not saying anything.
let him
I'm trying to
finish.
find- I'm trying to
You
find-
and your take your hands off. Take your hands off him.
You
Take
guys
your
are on my
hands
neck,
off.
Antonio. His reaction was very late. In terms of, he took like 3 steps, and then he fell. When it looked like one of the Sassuolo defender looked like he was getting the ball before he would.
So do you think it was not a red card?
I think he could have really stayed up if he wanted to.
But that's not really the question.
No, I probably wouldn't. It looked like more of a dive than anything to me.
Pete, what do you say? I'm holding off Antonio.
So there's the new rule now for a penalty, right? So if you're the last man and the goalkeeper fouls him, it's not necessarily a penalty plus the red card.
If you're inside the box.
Inside the box,
Outside.
outside the box.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to go around first. So if that's the case, right? Now Consigli misjumps the ball. You see that he does touch him. There is a foul. You know, the slightest of touches maybe. Okay. But he still got touched, impeded him. It's a foul. Usually a red card is your last man of defense.
Which he was.
There is the defender there. So I mean, is it a clear goal scoring chance? he doesn't look like he's gonna reach to the ball before the Sassuolo
Red
defender.
card, yes or no?
So I mean, you can give the red card at the moment's notice, but if you're going to VAR and you see that the defender might be able to go and stuff like that, you can give a yell. But
Hold it,
whatever.
hold it, Anto.
You already talked. You already said yours. You said it was a red card. That's
All those
it.
haters.
Go. We're not haters.
Oh my
We're
God.
Just
Okay.
seeing the whole perspective.
So let me
Let him
let me
say
put some perspective into this. Okay, it is a red card if the guy had the ball in his feet and he's trying to score a goal. It's got to be a clear chance to score a goal. The guy did not have the ball on his feet. Okay, so it's not a clear chance to score a goal. So it's not a red card.
It's a foul.
It's a foul. You called the foul. Then what Piontek did is he got touched. He took 2 more steps. And then when he realized that he could not get to the ball because the defender was already there, what did he do? He threw himself on the ground. That's a yellow card on Piontek.
Wrong.
He sounds like an alarm.
You are wrong. All of you.
I didn't give my opinion.
Listen.
I didn't give my opinion.
Listen.
Okay, what's your opinion?
That's my opinion.
That's all
You gave
right.
your opinion?
I haven't done
Okay.
that.
Then now,
How did you give it? You gave it to the
you
first
said
person.
it.
go. You
You
go
said
first.
it was a red card.
Yes,
Okay,
but now
okay.
I'm going to tell you why.
No, but you already talked.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I think I agree with
goes
I agree with the other members that it was a slightest of touch. But having said that, Consi, you screwed up. I'm not sure about the red card. Definitely a foul, and I don't really blame Piontek for falling down too much. I mean, there's contact on him. He's running fast. What else is he gonna do? I don't know. I'm not sure about the red card.
Stay on
just
his
because,
feet.
Just because I don't know the red card rule enough. But maybe you don't have to give that one a red card. But either way, it doesn't matter. It's still a foul.
It was so harsh.
Is that my turn?
Yes, your turn.
All right, can I speak, Mike? Thank you. All right, here's the deal.
What are you looking at me for?
When
He's
the
looking at all of us.
goalkeeper, he made a huge mistake. You know, he tried to go over there, trying to be the big guy. He missed the stuff. You know the momentum of this guy here? This guy is like a bulldozer. This guy was going at 100 miles an hour. A slight touch.
That's true.
He throws your momentum to whack. Okay? The
So-
guy would have gone to the ball and we would have scored.
No
Why
way.
did it take him
He
so
would
long to
have gone
fall?
to the ball and he would have scored.
Why did it take him 20 minutes to fall?
When you get touched, that's when you go down. Now you
Yeah,
take
now
another
5 steps
2-3
left.
steps,
Wait,
and then you fall down.
Why? Then if you listen, that slide of the touch, that slide touch,
no
you
way.
go down and then you get a simulation. I said, then you get a yellow card against yourself.
How?
That's what it would have happened. I'll tell you what, the guy didn't dive. The guy just, it was
No, there was
thrown off
contact.
balance.
There was contact.
There was contact. And he deserved the red card. The guy was a red card. He missed big time.
We'll have
the
more-
momentum
we'll
was
have-
too big for Piontek not to score. He had the net totally open in front of him.
There was a
And
defender
that
right in front of
doesn't
him.
matter. The defender
I'm
will
just,
never get to the ball.
I'm just
The
telling
defender
you.
will never have
I'm
got
just
to that ball.
telling
Piontek
you.
will have got to the ball before the defender.
I'm just telling you what the rule is. You have to have the ball on your feet, and you have to have a clear chance of a goal to get a red card. He did not have the ball on his feet.
How
the
is he
ball,
going to this feet if the guy stopped him?
the ball was too far ahead. You look at the replay, please.
Anyway, we'll have more about.
Thank you, Milan Sailors. I love that.
Why are you
know
looking
what?
at me?
It's got
I agree
nothing
with
to
you.
do.
I was with you.
It's got nothing to do with Milanese. This is the rules. You have to apply the rules.
I love this game. I live for this. The more you guys hate AC Milan, the more we try.
Nobody
This
here
the-
is hating AC
I
Milan.
love this thing
But nobody's
here.
hating AC Milan. We're just.
You did it wrong.
I can do that. I can do both.
I'll hold it for you. I'll
hold it for me.
Oh, okay. You hold the frame.
Anyway, we'll have more VAR talk.
I want to give him a compliment.
Thank you, Pete. Thank you.
Milan, right? Even though it's a scrappy win, dirty win, how you say, that's the true rendering of a great team. Where you're able to win even when you're not playing well.
100%.
Okay? And Sassuolo, even though they haven't been so consistent this year, they are a good team. If you see how they build up the ball, they are amazing with the ball at their
Zerbi's
feet.
a great coach.
De Zerbi, let me tell you, he can be, I'm not saying the next Sarri, but
Yeah.
a coach of a certain caliber.
Like how Gianpaolo went from
What
that
about
jump.
Sensi? What about that player, Sensi?
Yeah.
He's a good
Sensi,
player.
amazing.
I think that the only thing is that the Boateng. If they had Boateng,
Oh, yeah.
this is a completely
Whole different
side.
game.
not sure about
Whole
that.
diff-
They
whole
were
different
missing the center
player.
forward.
You're
No,
missing
whole different-
somebody that has the spark to
a killer,
100%,
a killer
100% agree. Let's move on. I was trying to look. Let's talk about Atalanta-Fiorentina before we go on to Napoli-Juventus.
I can watch that game all day.
This is a game. These two teams have played together over the past 4 days. They've played twice. There's been 10 goals between them. It's been great to showcase two great teams and attacking teams like Atalanta and Fiorentina, who the normal fan of football will look at this game and look away. You know, we had even Ryan over here who's a Manchester United fan. He said there was the day that Atalanta-Fiorentina, the Coppa Italia match, there was El Clasico, there was Tottenham-Chelsea, and there was Manchester United-Cardiff, something like that. That was the best game. 3-3, 2 comebacks, incredible drama, and just all-out attacking football. And that's like the life of where Serie A is becoming. You got 2 great teams with Atalanta, Papu Gomez, Chiesa, so many great players, and amazing game to watch. I think it was one of the underrated ones of this week. And great job by both of those teams to put on a display, even when some of the biggest games are on. Having said that, we'll talk about this game. Fiorentina went up with Luis Muriel, opened the score sheet. Atalanta came back, scored 3 goals. Papu Gomez, phenomenal goal. And Gasperini's men, they needed some revenge because Fiorentina came back last time. They got the revenge this time. Huge win. But yeah, great attacking football. And again, one last time, for all the people who don't know, this team, Atalanta, year by year, picked out, but they're still able to compete at the top.
Who's the coach?
Gasperini,
Okay.
the best
Very
coach in
good.
the world.
No, I'm very happy for them.
That's what you need, Pete. You know this guy here? This guy here can just shine the shoes of Gasperini, okay? This guy here can shine the shoes of Gasperini. This guy was at Inter Milan. He was sacked after a month or 2 months, and they didn't buy into the philosophy of
Where's Atalanta right?
That's
Where are they
with
right
the
now?
players that Atalanta sold.
Yeah, come on, with the players they have.
No, but
With the player that they have, with the player that Atalanta sold, Atalanta.
I'm not talking about the players that they sold. The
and
players
with
that they have
budget of
now.
Atalanta is like not even one quarter of Inter. Not even.
I don't know where you get your stats.
Not even 1/5.
I don't want to keep going because we've talked about this. I want to talk about Chiesa.
It's not that far off Inter, by the way. Atalanta is not that far off Inter.
Atalanta's
Maybe
8
5
players.
points. Okay, 5 points, 6 points below Inter.
Atalanta's 41, Inter is 47. Oh my god.
All right, so they're 7 points away from Milan then.
Six points below you.
From
It's only
Inter.
2 wins.
And 7 points
Two wins.
away from you.
You mess around another couple times, you're gonna see Gasparini jumping on top of you.
Let's talk about Federico Chiesa because Michael and I got into a big argument during the first match, Atalanta-Fiorentina. All Michael keeps saying is that Chiesa's not as good as we say he is, and I completely disagree. I probably couldn't disagree with anything more. And I know, Antonio, you're on the side because I already heard what you were saying.
On here what Gaetano
and it's
says
good
too.
to have a little debate. I think that Chiesa is one of the only Italians right now that's not scared, that has the skill and is not scared to take on his man. And I think that he's been put in a leadership position at this Fiorentina wearing the captain's armband. And it's great and we should support him. And if somebody overhypes him, that's not Chiesa's fault if he's overhyped or if they value him at 60 million or 70 million. You can't hold that on his back. You could say maybe he's not worth that, but I don't think there's anything to show that he's been an inconsistent player.
Who was the player? Was it Jovinko, I think? Jovinko said if his name was Jovinho, his value would have went through the roof. So, I mean, just because he's an Italian player, but, right away we're like, oh, he's not worth 60 million. The kid can play. The kid is fast. The kid plays 90 minutes running up and down. He gives everything for Fiorentina, and he's got skill. He's been into certain games where he does some things at a young age. Remember, he's not,
22, 20,
maybe even less.
22, I think.
Maybe even less. But the point is, he is a good caliber player.
21.
Yeah.
And he only just turned 21.
Yeah. So, I mean,
October.
I find him one of the better teams. What would be interesting is if he's able to move closer to the net. Because I feel if he moves closer to the net, he scores more goals, for
He
sure.
sets up a lot, though.
For sure. No, because he's that much of a talented player. Like, you see certain things that he does. He's able to get the ball, and he's quick.
Yeah.
Like, he's
explosive.
stands still,
Explosive.
and boom, makes the run, cuts it in, and he's smart. He makes the right passes.
Here's the problem, Mike.
Yeah, go.
And then you pick up on what I have to say. I think his momentum starts too far from the goalkeeper. Okay?
Well, that's based on the positioning,
and this is
but-
the fault of the coach. Okay.
So why you holding it over
a
Chiesa's
player
head?
of that caliber? Okay. Let's pretend that you're right. Okay. I don't see Chiesa having these skills he's not a killer. Chiesa is not a killer. He's somebody that works very hard. I applaud his effort and all the stuff, but he doesn't have the killer instinct.
But he's a winger.
Maybe because it's the coach's fault on how he uses Chiesa. Chiesa should be playing from inside, not inside of the box all the time, but not on the midfield and starting his action from his goalkeeping side.
But even there, he plays good.
He
sacrifices
works too hard.
It depends.
He works
Yeah,
too
but
hard.
it
His
dep-
momentum should be
But Antonio,
from
it depends.
the three-quarter all the way
Yeah,
to the
but
goal.
you cannot say that it's the player's fault. It's the coach's fault. One.
It's the coach's fault. for
And
me.
besides being the coach's fault, he's a winger through and through, but he can move up, and I think he would do good. Gareth Bale started as a left back. He did not score as many goals until he was moved as a left winger, closer to the goal, more attacking, and he's become this great player. I mean,
It was someone in the newspaper compared them to.
yeah,
Gareth
I mean,
Bale,
look at
Chiesa.
Cafu, right? Cafu's a right back. If Cafu was playing striker, he would score so many more goals. It's obvious. The closer you are to the goal, the less work you have.
Insigne was overused by Sarri. This is what I think Pioli
Yeah,
is
but-
doing. Pioli is overusing Chiesa.
He's
overusing
21
him
years
cover.
old.
At 21, but he's making him cover. He's making him playing defense. He's making him
That's the
doing all
position.
dirty
Is-
play.
Mike, what
Come
do you
on,
think?
you're not gonna have the juice on your legs and the clear head.
But don't hold that over.
So
Chiesa's
how is
head.
Chiesa the
definitely,
one?
Mike,
I just
say your
wanted to add.
point.
I think Chiesa's great. How he said young prospect, great. But I think he's too raw, and I feel like a lot of people are saying he's already this, he's already that. When he's just a good player, he works hard. He can finish. His finishing isn't the best right now. What he has that's going for him right now is his speed, and he never stops running. He never gives up, which is great. I just think it's a short amount of time that he's been playing good, and he might fall into the hole that so many of the players fell in. Like Sheik that played a few months, and he's the next guy. Like Bernardeschi was like, oh, he's great. Let's go to Juve. He's not giving minutes. I'm not saying anything. It's more of a lot of people talking about him rather than
I
him.
agree with
I think
you.
he's a great player. I just think
Like
this,
Insigne.
this has to be
come
within
Eh.
a few seasons before he goes
He's
to
been
a
doing
bigger.
it
This is
for
already his
seasons,
second
though.
season.
I know,
I
but this is the
understand your
real
point.
season. He started getting a little bit. Last season, check his stats last season. He
Mike,
wasn't the
I
same.
agree
as
with
this
you,
one.
but the one thing that I'm saying, and we can only judge at face value. We can't
Yeah.
predict. We're not predicting the
agree.
future.
Yeah.
We're not saying in 5 years this guy's going to
No,
be there.
yeah.
We're just speaking right now. And the thing that Chiesa has that Bernardeschi didn't have, that Sheik didn't have, that Belotti didn't have, is the talent and most of all the confidence. And that's the key point that I keep saying is if you watch the Italian national team and a lot of the players, they're scared to take on their man. They're scared to play the game that they can play. And the thing that I applaud Chiesa is that he's not afraid to take on his man. And it's the one thing that I keep bringing back. When I watched Mbappe, and I'm the opposite of the type to hype up a young player. When I watched Mbappe at Monaco against Juventus, this kid was taking on Barzagli, Bonucci, Chiellini like nothing. Like he was not scared.
He was fearless,
Even
yeah.
if he didn't go by them, he was not scared. That's the strength
I get what
of
you're
a
saying.
person who's mentally there and who's able to take it to the next level. Whether he will, whether he don't, we don't know.
I agree with Mike
Gaetano,
100%. He's a raw player. He
What do you
doesn't
say,
have
Dad?
quality and He's not
you guys are applauding about a player not being good.
No, I'm just,
No, I agree. I agree with most of you. He's got the skills. He's got the speed. Technically, he's very good. Tactically, he's good. If there is something that is being complained about him is that he throws himself on the ground a little bit too much. And we had somebody just before the podcast started that played in third division in Spain, and he was telling us that the coaches in Spain, they tell him, "Hey, throw yourself on the ground." And I'm sure that happens in soccer, and that some of the coaches want you to throw yourself on the ground.
encourage that.
They encourage that. So I think he's 21 years old. He still needs to mature. He's going to be in the national team. The more he plays, the more he's going to mature. He's going to have different coaches because going to the national team is going to have a different coach. So we are hoping that he becomes. He's got the real thing. He has.
Here's what it takes.
He has what it takes. But on the Atalanta Fiorentina, I wanted to say something about Ilicic. I mean, the guy Ilicic. The guy is what a player. I mean, this guy's got everything, and it looks like he's a leader. I mean, I don't see Atalanta that much, but when I see him, it looks like the guy is a leader with together with Papa Gomez. They are in a perfect city, I think, and that has a lot to do with it. And Gasperini, yes, he's a great coach, but I think he's a great coach for that city. He's coaching in Bergamo. For the people who don't know, Bergamo is very close to Milano. So you have all the talent of that region there. There's a lot of talent in that region. So all the players that AC Milan, Inter Milan, Juventus, all those players, all the young, that they cannot go to those big teams. Gasparini is very smart, and he brings them into his team. He does not have the pressure that the Milano, that the Torino, that the Napoli and the Roma have, because those are very, very difficult places to play. And I was with some Atalanta fans a few years ago, and they are very fair. If the team loses, they still applaud the team, and if they deserve to lose, they applaud the team. Even if the team is not playing well, they give them a chance the following week to come back and put the team and let the coach. And that's very important. It doesn't happen in too many cities in Italy, but I think Bergamo is that kind of city.
Great perspective.
How far is Bergamo from Milan?
45 minutes, right?
How far is it?
No, I think it's even closer.
Would you, if you were an
Maybe
Inter fan,
30
would you
minutes.
send a ticket to Gasparini and say, hey, listen, just go to Milan. I'll take
back.
this guy here, ship him out.
No, I just finishing saying that that
Just
Bergamo
answer my question, though.
is a perfect place for Gasparini to coach. Gasparini tried the big stage,
Yeah,
and it did not work
One
out.
time though.
It was one time. Leave him there. He's doing a great job. Why you want to change him? The guy is doing a great job.
Enjoy him.
Yeah. The team is playing great. He's got young players. I think he's great to develop the young players. You know how many young
you guys
players?
act like you're his agent over here.
Pete, would you take him? Would you take him?
No.
Pete, I'm going to ask you one more time. Would you take him
I said no.
over this guy?
No.
You're going to keep this guy.
I'd rather keep him.
Oh, my God.
Listen,
Pete,
guys.
Pete,
All right.
I tried. You're my friend. I
The
tried
first-
all the
the
best.
He's
first
going to
thing
wait
is-
until the end of the season for a big name.
Yeah. But the point is, Gasperini, even though when he came to Inter, it was a hard time because all hell let loose over there. They changed the management. Moratti left. The Torrier came in. They didn't buy any players. They got Jonathan for him as his right back and so on and so on. So he had 3 games. He lost all 3 games. He did terribly. And I think even the players were upset with him. So it just didn't work out. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe if he would have stayed on, something better would have happened. But he just, once you go there once, the fans are already going to have a certain perspective on you. You cannot work miracles. He can't go to Inter. He can go somewhere else.
Let's enjoy him. Let's enjoy him at Atalanta for right now. Talking about lesser teams that are spoken about, Torino have been under the radar, but they have been phenomenal, specifically in defense. They have one of the best defenses in Europe, not in Serie A, in Europe. The last 6 games, they've gone in a clean sheet. It's the first time they broke a record for a club record for most consistent clean sheets. And also, Sirigu went the most minutes for a goalkeeper in Torino's history. And we know Torino have a rich history for the most goals without conceding a goal. Now, that might sound impressive, but if you consider the teams, it might not sound that much. The teams that they went without conceding a goal to: Spal, Udinese, Chievo Verona, and now I saved the best 3, Atalanta, Napoli, and Inter. And might I remind you that Atalanta have the second best attack in Italy, only 1 or 2 behind Juventus. So Atalanta, Napoli, and Inter, all clean sheets. And credit to Mazzari, another one who he tried his act at the big stage. In my opinion, it didn't really work out. But he's found a place with Izzo, who's been phenomenal for Torino. And very, very happy for them. And they're racking up very important points. And also, shout out to Belotti, who got his first goal since, I believe, October.
It was a nice goal, too. I just wanted to add that Torino is tied with Lazio on points, with 41 points. Even though Lazio have a game in hand. That's pretty impressive for Torino.
They have a game in hand?
Yep.
Lazio.
Yeah, against Udinese.
I thought you were saying
it was
Torino
suspended
had a
because
game
of the
in
Coppa Italia.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's pretty impressive for Torino because the past few seasons we thought Belotti would be scoring and stuff, but they've kind of been of a disappointment. But they're quietly
Nicolo,
over there hovering
Izzo.
close to Europa League.
No.
So it's looking good for them.
They got a team, and Mazzari's getting the best out of his team. Let's move on and let's go to the game that we're all talking about once we started this. Napoli against Juventus, first versus second place in Italy. You three were all at the same party, so I know that you saw bits and pieces of the match, to my understanding, right?
Yeah.
Michael and I watched the game. In the first half, it started out very, very rocky for Napoli, sending off to Meret, and Juventus went up 2-0 very early on into the match. Second half, completely different display. Napoli totally controlling the match. I believe they had 75 or 80% of the possession, and in my opinion, it could have been more if you were making me guess. I don't remember Juventus doing anything in the second half. It was totally dominated by Napoli. They got their goal through Callejon. Beautiful goal. Chiellini not doing well enough marking. Szczesny probably could have came out and done better. Juventus also went down to 10 men. Pjanic, second yellow card. Napoli were not able to put the ball into the back of the net. Milik was also sacrificed very early on after Meret got the red card. And Juventus went on to win the match 2-1. The top of the table, this, I think, the dagger in the heart, this was the match. 16 points at the top of the table. And on top of that, the head-to-head of Juventus winning both games is almost like even more because they go to head-to-head first. So I thought that I predicted a Napoli win. I thought Napoli were going to be able to win this one just because Juventus, they have their mind on Atletico. They're not going through the best moment. They're conceding a lot of goals. And this was the last desperate chance for Napoli to really reel in the Scudetto, make it to 10 points. They weren't able to do it. But I think that anyone can argue that they deserve to win this, or at least get a tie or possibly win this. But again, it all comes back to the same thing, which is Juventus know how to get the job done. Somehow, even though they don't look like they deserve it, they play a horrible game day in and day out. They tell Allegri and
See the table.
it's a crazy situation. There's a lot of perspectives to be held on this. I think we'll take on the specifics of the game and to comment on what everyone wants to talk about, which was the red card given to Meret for sliding out. Did you guys see the play?
Yeah, I did.
What are your
I'm not
guys'
sure
thoughts?
100% if he actually touched Cristiano Ronaldo.
We're
So
actually-
this is what they were talking about on Sky, actually, with Pirlo, Capello, and someone else. And they were saying that the intent of Meret to go in with his cleat like this, I think Pirlo specifically said Meret doesn't need to break Ronaldo's leg for it to be a red card. He said just going in and Ronaldo jumping over. They said they couldn't determine if they touched him, if they didn't touch him, but just that causes a red card.
Yeah,
This is what they said.
We're actually arguing about that. I was saying, did he make contact? But just the intent of putting your studs up like that is an automatic foul. And since him being last man, regardless if he touched him or not, it was a sending off. So there was a lot of controversy upon that in terms of should Meta get sent off, this and that. But if you look at the rules, basically, we're reading up on the rules. 100%.
Mike, the story of this game, it was Insigne just given the chance.
Oh, wait, comment on this
Yeah,
thing
what
before,
you think
because
about
I know
the-
this is what
the red
everybody's
card?
very upset about.
Listen, it is what it is right now. It's too late to be just crying over spilled milk. The guy, he was shown a red card, and so you just have to take it. I mean, they went through the VAR, they went to double check and all the stuff.
Well, they said they
You'll
did
be
the
shocked.
silent check. We didn't
Well, the
see
silent
them.
check. They went through the silent check, and they saw that the momentum was too much for him to avoid not to give the red card. So I think the ref didn't make a mistake in this particular.
You think it was correct?
It could have been. It was more on a borderline with a red than a yellow.
Okay.
In other words, for me, it was more orange
card
than
yellow.
pink.
Yeah. Peter, what do you think?
I mean, if it's an orange, then the referee can give the red. It's justifiable that a referee could have saw it and said it was a red. There could be chances where, depending on what the interpretation of the referee is. So if the referee thinks it's a yellow and he calls it a yellow, it's a yellow, and he can't even review it in VAR. You know what I'm saying? If he would have gave the yellow, he would not be able to review the VAR. You know? So he gave the red. The red card could be applied, and they kept the call. So, I mean, a little harsh maybe, but it is what it is.
Well, Malcuit, who's been very good for Napoli so far as a right back, he's been very solid. It was a strange pass back. My immediate thought was it was a red card, a pretty clear red card. I really believe that if if even he contacted Ronaldo, it was very slight. Now, you've seen the whole action. Now, if it did, nobody could tell. So it says to how light
In
the
a
extent it
magnifying
would have
glass, so
been.
you
But
can check.
to me, at least my perspective, and I know it can be seen as biased, but if you are going in with your studs up, like Pirlo said, what does he got to do? He's got to break his leg. He's not gonna jump out of the way of to get it on. I mean, either way, he's stopping the goal scoring chance. That since you've seen it now, what do you think?
I didn't see it, I'm just watching it now. I think this is what the rule is. You have the ball in your feet. It's a clear chance that you're going to score a goal, and the guy stops you. It's a red card. I don't think there's a doubt. He's outside the area. If he was inside the area, it would have been a penalty and a yellow card. But he's outside.
Does touching him matter?
No. He went in like this. He went in with the studs like that. I mean, yeah. He went.
There was also an argument that
I don't think there's a doubt that is a red card.
There was also this argument that if you watch this play, they say that Ronaldo was not going to get to it. I mean,
what do you mean he was not going to get to it? He got the ball. He had the ball in his feet.
I'm just saying. I'm just throwing out.
And then he pushed the ball, and the guy stopped him. You mean when he pushed the ball
through?
Yes.
But he had the ball on his feet, and the guy had. You could see the guy's studs. I mean, that's a red card.
Even if it's slightly different, but the concept is what's happening between Piatek and
exactly.
the goalkeeper. Pretty much we are on the board. It's like the momentum. The guy had the momentum. The guy puts his hands over there. You know, it's a big thing.
Yeah, I think a lot of the debate. I mean, it's definitely a foul. I mean, people are upset that it was a red card, I believe. Anyway, there was also another controversial call. Let's just get them all out of the way while we talk about it. There was Alexandro was given a handball where it clearly hit off his chest first, and then you could see that Ricochet hits his chest first and arm first. I know, Mike, you didn't think it was at
I
first.
thought it was straight at. I thought it was a handball at first, but then you can see it slightly skims his chest.
No, not slightly. It hits his chest.
I mean, whatever. Regardless, it still touches chest first, and then it hits his arm.
And then it was in about the 87th minute where a play is, and I know Peter and I were talking about it, where if it hits off another body part, like we've seen so many times this year, hits the head, and then it will hit your arm, and it's not often given, but sometimes it is. And it's one of those that could have ruined the match at the end. Peter, what do you think about this call?
No, I don't understand what is so hard. You make a rule, right? If it hits off one body part and then it hits off your hand, why are you calling this a penalty? This was a rule that was already discussed in the beginning of the year.
Going back on it.
In the beginning of the year. So you have to call it consistently. If you do not agree on the call, for the next year, you change it. You change it back to any handball. Okay? Handball, it's such a specific part of the rule book, but we clearly discussed that if it hits off any part of a playing body and then hits off your hand, it's not a penalty. I mean, is his hand in an awkward position? I got to look at it again.
I mean, it was a little extended.
Maybe a little extended, but it's nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Let's say if
but look, he's falling. He's falling down. He doesn't have his hand like this when he's about to cross.
Crazy
Or
extended.
if that ball didn't touch his hand,
He's
it would have
falling.
gone to Napoli's player.
no,
But
come
actually,
on.
Well, it's
now they're
goalkeeper,
talking about
I think.
changing the rule to be that no matter whatever the extent, that it's always a foul. But at the moment, right now, I think that the consistency, which we've seen,
Yeah.
also it's so close.
But here's another
I thought
thing.
we said that if it's so close that it can't be.
That's
called.
right. But also another thing in the rule book, the official rule book, is you can call a foul in the penalty area. I'm not sure for a handball,
I get what you're saying.
but
Like a
technically
back pass,
you
like how
can.
they do a back
yeah,
pass thing.
you can call a foul in the penalty area. I don't know what the real. I'm gonna come with
You give an
a
indirect
piece
kick, you mean?
of it. You give an indirect kick with a foul in the penalty area.
Haven't seen it. What do you think? What did you think?
No, the rule if he hits another body part and then it goes to his hand, if it's not a penalty, it's not a penalty. To me, that's a penalty. I don't know. To me, it's a penalty because I mean he hit his hand. He could have gone to somebody else to score a goal. I don't know. It's a tough.
It's so
tough
bad that we can't get it. It's so bad. And
that's why
too, but
next
it's
year,
difficult.
they're changing some of the rules, and one of the rules is going to be for the handball. I don't know. I'm not sure yet, but some of the changes that they will make is you cannot have a double wall, so you cannot stand in front of the other players because there's a lot of pushing going on. So I think now you have to be at like a yard and a half away from the wall to make another wall. So that's one of the rules that they're going to change. Also, last year there was a problem with Chievo in a game against Chievo where the goalkeeper passed the ball to Giaccarini, I think, and Giaccarini got it before the ball went outside the area. And right now you have to repeat the.
I got it. I understand.
I think starting next year,
That's a good rule. Yeah,
I think that you could put pressure. The forward can put pressure. So and they're gonna come out with a handball. But my problem with which I criticized Carletto for is taking out Milik. That's what that was my biggest problem with Ancelotti. Why do you take Milik? You need to win this game. You need to score goals. So why you take Milik? At the end, if Insigne scores the goal, he ties the game.
Would have been a different story.
Maybe I wouldn't have criticized it as much because he tied the game. But still, you need to win this game.
And Milik of all players.
And Milik,
Who would you have
he's on
sacrificed,
form.
Gaetano? Callejon?
No, I would. Yeah, I would have not Milik. I mean, Milik is the guy that is going to.
Zielinski
Well,
was
He was playing
great.
very
the
good.
way.
Saying.
I would have gotten rid of Insigne before I got rid of Milik.
Definitely.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying
I
that because
agree
of,
with you.
I'm not saying it because of the missed penalty. I really, honestly, I don't hold a missed penalty over Insigne. I don't hold it over him. Just because I know that these penalties are 50-50. I'm just saying in terms of the guy that brings it to your favor. Insigne, fair play to him. He had a good match, but I just would have kept Milik in personally.
Yeah, that was my problem.
know,
What do you think about the game?
Insigne, I think, is living up to his fame of being a choker on the important game. The guy is a great player when the game doesn't count. When when the score doesn't count, where the game it's already put it on. When the ball is already, the game is saved already. They got the 3 points, and Insigne comes with those beautiful goal. He curves the ball, all beautiful, nice job. But when the game is on the line,
To be fair, he had a good game though. But
when
I agree
the
with you.
game
in
is on
general.
the line, like a penalty kick, like scoring from a very close distance, like making a difference.
So you're gonna say Roberto Baggio was not a difference maker because of a penalty?
You cannot compare Roberto Baggio.
I'm just
with
saying off the
Insigne, are
penalty.
you?
Well, that
You're
was
talking
one
about missed
instant.
penalty.
No, he's talking about in general, big
Yeah,
moment.
But you're bringing up the penalty.
But Roberto Baggio missed one penalty. This guy here is prone to miss on every important game that he plays. It never comes through. This guy.
Who is this?
Insigne.
Insigne.
Where did he play?
Come
for
on, he
Italian
scored
national
versus
team?
Juventus. He scored versus Milan.
Liverpool.
Why did he
Brazil.
win? Did they win the game?
Yeah, but that's
Actually,
based
listen
on
to
the
this.
team, not
Insigne
based
has
on.
missed only 2 out of the 7 penalties taken in
Okay,
Serie A.
that's a lot. That's
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, both of them came versus Juventus.
That's a
Oh
lot.
my God, really?
Both of them versus
Hello,
Juventus.
He scored versus Liverpool. He scored versus
So what?
Real Madrid.
So what? They out. They out of the Champions League.
Yeah,
But
but
we're
it's
talking
not
about
his
the specific
fault.
player.
Yeah, but it's not his fault. He scored.
He never made a difference when he played for the Italian national team. It's one of the reasons why him, Immobile, and Belotti, and everybody else. That's the reasons why we out.
Fair play to Napoli because I thought that they played a great match. I think that there was a little extra edge that I thought that they could have pounced on Juventus, who were horrible. Again, horrible. The midfield without Pjanic is not a midfield. It's terrible. And as far as Napoli, also Fabian Ruiz has been a phenomenal player.
Yes.
He holds the ball so well. He has
He
control.
should have taken the penalty
He's-
instead of Insigne.
He's also a player that we had our friend, like you said, Alessandro from Proper Football, and he played in Spain and he played for the team that he supported, Real Betis, and he said that you knew that this guy was a great player. So good eye by them, and I think he's been one of the top in Serie A, I think, for Fabian Ruiz, who's a question mark going into this. As far as Juventus' side, they know how to grind up these wins. Does Allegri keep going underneath the radar because he knows how to get these results? Is it a balance between the Serie A not being good or Juventus, they continue to break records? They broke a record for the most wins ever away. I don't know. My question is my mind is left open because he gets the results. but
Marco,
at
these
the end of the day, his
results-
fate is
those
going to be
results,
determined by Europe.
They stink. I'll tell you what they stink. The Juventus played a horrible game. I mean, I know they are already complacent. There are some complacency that they want the Campionato already. But you are preparing yourself to play to play against Atletico. You need to build up some momentum. You just get you needed the team to grind again, to just get together, to just become a unity, a unit again, like everybody's synchronized on the play. I see Juventus just living on episode. Or the guy scores over here, or Cristiano Ronaldo gets to take the goalkeeper away because they get a red card. They live on episode here and there, but the team is not playing well. And going into the week that they're going to be playing Atletico in 10 days, that's very worrisome. You do not want to rely on a Juventus like that. Juventus should be playing like a unit, like a
well-oiled machine.
Like an oiled machine, but not they playing like a 5 out of 6 cylinder, and then 3 out of 6 they move. It's just something that is on the verge of breakdown for Juventus unless they get it all together. And then Dybala, again, I keep saying this problem with Dybala. Dybala should be used in a game like this at all the time. Let him play bad for the first half. Dybala is always someone that comes through. Why would you sit a player of that caliber on the bench? This is Allegri's disgrace to me. That guy is another one that should be let finish with the Campionato. Whether I just hope they move through with the Coppa Campioni, because he's another guy that does not belong for Juventus.
Antonio, I agree with you there. I just wanted to add, Juve always been that team that knows how to grind their way through, get that scrappy win. But the past, the seasons before this, they were always playing good, and they always had those matches that had to scrape through and stuff. But this season, it looks like every single team they play, whatever, they may get the win, but they always play bad. They always had those games that they play bad in the one, but it looks like every single game they play bad, regardless if they win or lose. And I don't know if that's due to Allegri. I don't know if it's a pressure. I don't know the new players coming in. Even last week against Bologna, they won. They played horrendous, and it's every single game. Whoever they play, I don't know what's going on.
They've progressively gotten worse. I would argue that in September, I was feeling so optimistic for how well Juventus were playing. They were playing beautiful football, and progressively they've plateaued. What do you think?
No matter, it seems like no matter how many games and how many records Allegri will break. Is going to be, they're going to judge him on what happens to Atletico.
That's true.
On that game. And if he should not do well on that game, it's a shame because the guy, he hasn't lost one game in the game. He's got, what does he have, 15 points now?
16, yeah.
16 points ahead. He has to lose 50% of the games to lose the Campionato because there's 12 games left. So he has to lose 18 points, which is 6 games. I mean, it's impossible to lose 6 games. He hasn't lost one game. So the Campionato is there. He's going to break all kinds of records.
And he's still being criticized.
He's going to break Conte's record, and he's still being criticized.
It's only numbers, Gaetano. We're only stats. We're talking about stats
is
here.
it fair?
No, absolutely not. You're winning, and you're winning the Campionato. It's for him it's going to be 5 in a row. But what else do you want?
I want the champions.
But you have Cristiano
You want the
Ronaldo on
champions.
the team.
So that's
You have
what
Cristiano Ronaldo.
That's what I'm saying. He's going to be criticized. He's
Yeah.
going to be judged now on the Atletico game.
100%.
Yeah.
What you were asking is that fair?
It's
right.
harsh.
So now, if he goes through and he wins the Champions League, then it's going to be a great, great season.
Yeah.
If he does not win the Champions League, for Allegri, unfortunately, it's not going to be a.
Even if he wins, they're going to ship him out. I'm telling you.
It's not going to be a great season.
They're going to ship
Okay,
him out.
and my question to you is that fair? Is that fair to judge this Juventus off the Champions League?
Yes.
Oh yeah. I mean, the team is built
They're
now.
built for-
The team is built for the Champions League. So they spend the money for the Champions League. If you don't do well in the Champions League,
You fail.
Okay. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with all points. I think that there's a lot of frustration with the way that he's playing. We've heard Conte, we've heard Zidane, we've heard a lot of names being thrown around, and we'll debate that for another time because we went a little bit long.
You can
right
take Spalletti because Spalletti is going to be sacked by Inter.
No, thank you. Actually, they're talking
said
about
no, thank you.
They're talking about Allegri to Inter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
you
that's
might
right.
enjoy that.
Then he must start to win some dirty game. Pete. I'd rather to have Allegri playing a coach in Inter than this guy
Spalletti.
here. Yeah.
The one thing I wanted to conclude on, we'll have a preview before Atletico. We'll definitely have one. But I think that he will be judged on that and probably justifiable. But at the same time, and I wasn't expecting to always, have in my mind Allegri. It's annoying the way that Juventus play is not good enough for the players that you have. But in the same perspective, the midfield is garbage.
You
It's
have forgotten that your boy didn't score in the last couple games, right?
Ronaldo?
Yeah. What
Piontek
happened?
hasn't scored in the
Piontek has-
past 2
Well,
games
wait a
either.
moment. Just answer my question. Did he score, yes or no?
Who's the leading scorer?
Quagliarella.
And
And,
Ronaldo.
and who else?
Quagliarella
And who else?
a lot less penalty than CR7.
Doesn't matter penalty. Who's
Hey,
the leading
does
scorer?
matter.
The,
Hello?
the leading scorer is Cristiano Ronaldo.
Hello?
Quagliarella has less penalties scored than Ronaldo.
Oh, I was
Yes.
thinking of Piontek, my
No.
bad. Yeah, I don't know how
Listen,
many.
and Piontek is going to
Quagliarella
overtake
has a
Cristiano
couple
Ronaldo
penalties.
too.
Yeah, man. I don't
He's
know if
gonna
it's the
take
same.
them.
Yo,
Okay,
Quagliarella has
alright.
more penalties.
Are you
than
sure?
Ronaldo.
He's
Check.
got more penalties.
I don't know if he's
Well,
sure.
double check.
He might be
I
close.
will check right now.
Double check right now.
Okay, but
Hey, yo, look at me. Double check. Do the check.
he's the leading scorer. All right, what are we up to? We're going to talk about Spal and Samp, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Quagliarella.
Now that you said about Quagliarella.
Oh, guys, they're actually tied on penalties.
Hello.
Okay.
So it's the same thing.
Okay, so
Same
it's the
thing.
same
but
thing.
We're talking about Cristiano Ronaldo, 150 million with somebody that is worth
100 million?
Yeah.
Anto,
With
Piontek.
Quagliarella, 100 million to 50 cents over here.
Why are you valuing him at 50 cents?
No, what I'm saying is the value is just so far up, and Quagliarella
Who's
is just the
who's
same amount
deciding
of
the
goals.
value?
Quagliarella was sacked by Juventus and said, "Hey,
Antonio,
you have to play with us."
Antonio, very, very few players on their first year on the Italian championship, they do well. Very, very few players. And
Piontek is one of them.
some of them are, we had a lot of stars that came into the Italian championship. The first year they didn't do too well.
Let's conclude.
So
let's
the
conclude
guy is
with Quagliarella. Let's give him our respect. 36 years old.
All 2 goals.
Joint top goal scorer, 2 goals against Spal. And the 2 goals that matter and get Sampdoria another 3 points. Continues to lead the line, and these ones are not on penalties. I think there were 2 headers. I remember the second one was a header.
No, one was a volley.
No. The first one was a volley
Beautiful.
from the
Scissor
right
kick, right?
side, and the defender was in front of him. He went to slide in front of the defender, and he hit it.
Beautiful goal.
Nice goal, very nice goal.
Yeah, so Sampdoria, another team that they always come up, and huge win for them. I think that's it. Also, Balotelli, he scored a beautiful goal today. He did like a scissor kick or a bicycle kick, and then he went on Instagram live, and he recorded it right away.
I want to say one thing about IFTV. And IFTV was the first one that said that Quagliarella should go to the national team. And they're going to be the selection, I think, is coming up. And I'm pretty sure that Quagliarella is going to be. So you heard it first here on IFTV.
But
Nice
you
little
don't really
shout-out.
got to be Nostradamus to see that this guy can score goals. Italy can't score. You put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, but at 30, the problem was 36. It was not scoring the goals.
36. I'd rather a 36-year-old who could score goals than a 22-year-old who gets nervous to score goals.
Wait, let me pick up on what Gaetano just said. Yesterday, by chance, by mistake, I ran into this Being channel over here. Being
Being Sports.
And there was Vieri,
Bobo Vieri.
Oh,
and
Mourinho.
2-3 guys, right. 2-3 guys talking about the Classico, the Barcelona, Real Madrid. So they were making prediction here and there. Bobo Vieri said, I'm not going to predict who's going to win, who's not going to win, because those other two, there were 2 mouthpieces, one for Real Madrid and one for Barcelona. But the bottom line is the technical analysis that you heard over there, except for Bobo Vieri, it was inexistent. If you guys want to learn about soccer, this is the place, guys. This is the expert that we have over here.
I'm not an expert.
Okay, well, this guy is the expert.
Look at him smiling.
So keep watching this play.
You're the
this
Spalletti
game.
expert. You're the Spalletti expert.
I'm the Spalletti expert because I picked him up.
No. He's the Wandanara.
Oh, the one that
This has
So
to be
listen,
the
guys,
least
He's
you've
the
ever
one
said
that
podcast
are expert.
ever.
We are here for you guys. We make you guys happy. We here. I'm quitting my job because of you guys.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So, keep watching.
One more
keep
person in
playing
the basement.
Podcast number 5 with the 5 stars.
5 stars?
Do we have any sales? With
There's
the
no
shirts?
sale in merchandise.
Keep
But-
buying the Bar Fanculo. Do they have
Yeah.
the bar?
Yo,
shirts?
Guys, the VAR Fanculo has been
thing-
so popular.
The bad thing is that there's a lot of VAR mistakes, but the good thing is everybody's buying VAR Fanculo.
Thank you.
Keep
buying
sending,
the bar
keep
shirt.
sending pictures too. Of
Yeah,
you guys
yeah.
running on the spot.
We need advertisers.
Yeah,
know
we
what,
need
yo,
somebody. Listen,
We need advertisers for this
everybody
program.
that is listening, seriously, we need somebody that is going to sponsor us. You're not going to be sorry. Then we'll talk about how we're gonna share and how we're gonna make you happy.
Greek
with your,
sponsorships are very welcome too.
Okay.
No, the whole country of Greece is gonna need to pay us for that one.
Oh my god!
They're gonna pay us in goats.
Okay. So Pete, you want to say anything else to conclude?
Peter said
You're gonna be at the Derby. You're gonna send us some nice videos.
All right.
Don't
You
forget
guys
about
send
the
us
bet. Don't forget about the
I'm actually gonna be out for a little while.
How long are you gone for?
I'm there till March 29th.
Oh,
wow.
we're gonna do a Skype
Oh,
with you for
and
the
when do you leave?
podcast.
Thursday.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm taking a little vacation.
Oh, and you taking Ludovico with you?
Yeah.
We got no backup.
We gotta find the backup.
Oh,
Well, we're gonna get Alessandro. Get Alessandro.
There you go.
All right, guys. As always, thank you for watching. Talk to you soon. Ciao, ragazzi.
ciao, guys.
Ciao.